think what's really enjoyable about having 6 seats is the fact that when you start your training contract, you don't necessarily know where you want to go and what you want to do, and you might have an idea, but actually having those 6 seats lets you explore those ideas a bit better, and you might surprise yourself that you now found something that you didn't really think about before, and you're really enjoying that seat and you're going with it, and you have more opportunity just to actually explore what you want to do.
I think sometimes one of the downsides of having 6 seats is that you only have 4 months somewhere, and if you really enjoy it and have thoroughly got integrated into the team and the type of work, you kind of soon move on. But it is good that then there's an opportunity to potentially go back.
I think from doing the different seats, what you pick up is more not necessarily the area of law you'd like to go into, but the type of law. So whether that's transactional or litigious, and from that you speak to colleagues who are sort of associates or above, and they can give you a bit more insight into the content that you deal with. But I think from having those first 3 seats, you pick up more of an idea of what type of lawyer you are, and that's what helped me decide my second year seat.
I think it makes huge impacts. I came from a really big international firm as a trainee, which was great and I learned a lot, but it was really refreshing coming here and being on a single site, and faces become really familiar really quickly, particularly in your own team. You're always working with someone in your team, which again in bigger firms you don't always have.
Well, I think doing more seats pushes you into different departments, and what that does is when you start to choose your preferences, like I went to banking for one of my seats, and because I'd done real estate and construction, I was able to go and see those people that I'd worked with before, whether it be real estate finance or on a construction project, and I found that really useful because you had that natural network already.
I think that's where the 6 seats really help, because you have had the opportunity to network with a higher number of people in the firm, and then when it comes to the job list, you have more experience, or have experienced more seats than you would in a 4-seat firm, and that kind of helps you tailor your interests accordingly and choose your qualification job.
It's really challenging becoming an NQ. I always say you're a trainee when you go to bed on Friday, and then on a Monday you're a fully fledged lawyer with the certificate. And obviously not much has changed in those couple of nights sleep, so it is really challenging and scary. And I think a big thing I found is, and it was actually a really great thing, is all of a sudden you have a lot of freedom and a lot of independence, but that in itself is quite scary. Like, you don't have a supervisor holding your hand all the time. And I think what I realised I needed to do was, like, everyone in the team is your supervisor, and maybe even, in other teams when you're working on things, you don't need to have this one person checking in on you, and I think it makes you really resourceful.
I found a few of the key benefits of doing a client secondment, having that variety in an in-house environment. When you are in a seat in a private practice law firm, you may be focused on a particular area of law, so being able to go in-house, you could see that variety on any given day. You could be working from real estate to construction to litigation matters, and it makes you resourceful, it makes you kind of adaptive to those things as they come through the door. One of the other benefits I found as well was it gave me the opportunity to learn what a client needs from its legal advisors and what kind of advice they're coming to a law firm for, like Walker Morris.
I would say, if I were to give advice to my younger self, I would say be open-minded, because you may surprise yourself. You might approach something with, maybe this is not for me, but then you're in the seat, or you're doing something that is maybe extracurricular to your department, and you find yourself enjoying it a lot.
I would say that I think you should make the most of it being a single site firm, in that if you get the chance to go and speak to someone in a different department, go and do it physically rather than Teams or an email, because we're all here on different floors just for your own network and because of how friendly everyone is.
In the same vein as being open-minded as well, I would say take a lot of pressure off yourself. I think very often young people, or not young people, have an idea of how things are going to go, they have a plan, and you might not get the exact training contract you want, you might not get the exact seats you want. And again, I think that's where you guys are really lucky to have 6 seats, because when you had 4, it feels like the end of the world if you're not getting every seat you want. And you might not get the job that you want at the end of it, but actually 9 times out of 10, if you're a hard worker and you've shown your worth and you're a nice person, it will work out. And like I see that, like I say, when I qualified, things weren't exactly how I'd planned, and actually it's worked out incredibly, and I found myself in a really happy, comfortable corner, and in a really good place to work.